Yo, yo, I'm live. I'm going to improvise over some tracks. I'm going to hang out, shred for a little bit. We'll see who shows up. And let's talk guitar stuff. So I'm going to play over this little G minor jam. Here we go. Little Ben Harrison coming through. What's up, Justice? How you doing, man? Dude, I shot the Amity video today. We'll talk about that later. I'll jam for a little bit, but hang out, man. We'll talk about the Amity. Maybe we can get you in on this, man. I don't know if we can collab at the same time. I don't know if I can add you in, but little G minor. You're on a plane coming back from Hawaii? Bro, that is sick. I would have stayed there if I were you. go. Track's over. What's up, everybody? I know we got Fuzz Imp in the house. That's sick. Thank you for listening to my mindless shred over that track. I try to improvise over like jazz fusion-y stuff as much as I can, just to play changes. You know, that's what improvisation's all about. Playing changes. I guess everyone's gone, so I'm just talking to myself now. Drop a message if you're here. So, real quick, let me grab a pedal from across the room real fast. Couple pedals. So, earlier today, I shot a demo of this guy. This is a dual drive from Fuzz Imp. Fuzz Imp was here. I think he's on a plane right now. Oh, there he is. He's back. So this is a really great dual drive. If anybody doesn't know what this is, everybody in Nashville, kind of like the cream of the crop is the King of Tone, the analog man, King of Tone. If you play gigs a lot, you need like a dual drive. So in my opinion, this is a great sort of alternate for the King of Tone. It's not the same thing as the King of Tone. And let's be honest, like that pedal is ridiculously expensive. It's like $800 if you wanted to buy one now on Reverb. It is like several year waiting list if you're trying to order one. But they use certain transistors in that pedal that are just awesome. My buddy Christian Colabelli swears by the King of Tone. He's got 2 of them. It's like the ultimate tone. But I was playing on this thing today, and it's almost as good as the King of Tone. I'll just say that. No one else would notice. The guitar player would notice. But this is an awesome pedal for $180 or right under $200. This is an awesome pedal. So I'll be demoing this. There will be a demo that comes out probably on Friday for this guy here. But yeah, anybody else want to talk guitar stuff? Anybody have questions about improvising, about extreme death metal guitar, anything at all? Let me know. Let's talk. Let's hang. King of Tone and the brown protein. Cool. I don't know what the brown protein is. What company is that? I'm not sure. But yeah, a little more about this pedal. This side is the glassy side, so it's like a high watt Fendery kind of amp like sounding overdrive. Could also use that as a clean boost, and you pair that up with kind of a tube screamer style circuit. It sounds very Marshall-y. So with these two going at the same time, you can get just a kick-ass lead guitar sound. And I was just really impressed with it today. I played it through the Rev Gen 120 Snakeskin. My little backdrop is falling down. I'm actually shooting some playthrough videos soon as well. I'm working on a Hate Eternal playthrough video. I've got some other stuff up my sleeves that I'm working on, some Nile stuff, Archspire. Basically like the hardest stuff that there is out there to play on guitar is what I'm working on right now. But I'm also working on my improvising. So what are you working on your guitar playing? By the way, Sender 5, this is an awesome fuzz pedal. I wrote and recorded a song called Time Portal with this pedal. And there is a video out on my channel about that. If you want to watch that, just search Drew Creel Time Portal. It'll come up. I'm playing 8-string guitar through this beast, just playing the most ridiculously heavy sounding fuzz sounds through this guy. So this is an awesome pedal as well. It's also kind of a dual pedal where it's got a fuzz plus a boost. And this can this could be your distortion or it could be your fuzz. And then I needed like just a good dual drive. So this does that. And Justice, you're making good stuff, man. You're killing it, bro. I like you. And you know, you're not You're not making a bunch of tariff complaint videos, although I know that's probably become a thing with your business, and I hope the tariffs haven't affected your business too much. But I see a lot of pedal companies complaining about the tariffs, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it, man. I think it sucks, but if you guys want to talk about that, we could talk about that. Um, Also expensive, double the Amity cost, like a $400 pedal. Oh, that's good to hear. My high gain setups for testing circuits aren't always translating it as much. Oh, you made a tariff complaint video, but it was more about how I got stocked up ahead of time. That's smart, man. Yeah, that's super smart. I mean, yeah, I don't pretend to be like an economist or know really that much about global trade, although I do stay informed. I watch every day. I'm watching tons of videos from different people from the Trump side of things, and I'm watching more people that are critical of Trump and these tariffs, and it's just kind of interesting to watch. So, but yeah, I'm glad you got stocked up ahead of time, man. I think your prices are really fair. A lot of boutique pedal companies, $200 was kind of like the standard price for a pedal for a really long time, but now companies are charging a lot, 279 for a made in USA, small boutique, pedal. So I'm a dirt box guy. Like, I collected all the Lone Wolf stuff for a while. I got really into that stuff. I actually ended up selling most of it off. The only Lone Wolf pedal I have left is the Season pedal, which is like a Sun Beta lead, which is just one of my favorite sounds. Crazy what people are charging, but I also want to be competitive. You are competitive, man. I think you charge great prices. Like, I think it's most people that have a job and are guitar hobbyists or are serious about guitar can afford your stuff, and I think that's great. Um, did anyone see the new Chase Bliss King of Tone pedal? What do you guys think about that? And it's mostly now just getting the word out. I mean, I'd be curious to know, like, are you just making pedals full time, or do you have a part-time job as well? Is making effects pedals a way that you can support yourself and your family? Um, and I hope, once again, I hope the tariff thing isn't affecting your livelihood. Um, but yeah, so the Chase Bliss King of Tone pedal, I thought that was an interesting release from Chase Bliss. I like Chase Bliss pedals. Um, to be honest, I'm a guitar player that likes to be on the fretboard more than I like to be on the knobs. Although I do love pedals. I actually, for a short time, I used to work at Eastside Music Supply many years ago. I just kind of helped out there just for a couple months. Like, I was not like an employee. Um, so I got to learn a lot about effects pedals when I was there. And of course, I was in a band with Brandon and Blair White from Eastside Music Supply. We had a band called Kinhin. I played bass in that band, actually. It's kind of a psychedelic rock band, but we played some shows that are highly memorable for me. Um, but yeah, I saw Chase Bliss, the Brothers. I predicted that it would sell for 800, like the King of Tone. Yeah, it's more about how the economy is. Um, yeah, I've heard, and I could be wrong, that Chase Bliss King of Tone or Analog Man collab pedal, it doesn't have the same transistors as the King of Tone, so it's not really a King of Tone. That's what guys are telling me here in Nashville. I want to like that pedal, but when it comes to overdrive, I wonder, does the average guy, and I know Chase Bliss pedals aren't made for the average guy, but most guitar players, when they think about an overdrive or when they get an overdrive, they don't want that many options. They don't want 10 dip switches and, all these different options. You really just want this. Sorry. Dual overdrive, all the controls are the same on both sides. My only complaint is the control words. The control words on the pedal telling you what they do are quite small, but you can learn it in 5 seconds. So it's not that big of a deal, but if I was bringing this on tour, I would put stickers on this and put like volume, tone. I would just like put tape on it so I could see what it needs to do from far away. But I'm a sucker for this hammered finish. This hammered finish is awesome. I noticed that this on the Sender 5, the hammer is a little different, but that's okay. They're both still really sick and really cool. But yeah, man, really great pedal, really great tone. I just, I played right into the clean channel of the Rev, and it did the country guitar thing, the indie rock, it literally does every sound. Like if you were on a cover gig, you could show up to the gig with a tuner, with this, a delay pedal, and maybe like one other pedal, and you'd be set. So, yeah, did you do this finish yourself, or do you have someone else do this for you, and then you put all the circuit boards and wiring in? Like Amity has 8 knobs. I feel like 8 controls between them. Dude, I thought the same thing. I should have bumped up the text size for sure. Yeah, I mean, you live and you learn, right? It's just, do that on the V2, man. The text is a lot better on this one. Look at that. It's got that drop shadow kind of thing going on. But yeah, these are really fun pedals. I'm not really set up to plug and play these for you guys right now, but maybe I'll do that at some point. We'll do a live where we're demoing pedals, because that's sick. So yeah, anybody else out there want to comment? There's 5 people watching. Who else is here? Thanks for the $4.99, bro. You did not have to do that. I don't expect anyone to pay money for my lives, because I don't do them consistently enough. I'm not really a streamer. I make videos, and I play a lot of guitar. I've just been practicing a lot lately. That's why I haven't made a YouTube video in a long time. I've just been ripping on this guitar, my 8-string, and then this red Ibanez over here, ripping on that a ton. That's the Hate Eternal guitar. I was playing through this amp today. Like I said, I got my drop cloth up for the playthrough videos. So stoked on the Amity demo. Hit me up for anything after. I'm gonna swap over to something for a bit, but appreciate your fuzz imp stuff and your sick playing. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate your sick pedals. Thanks for the support. You're one of the only American pedal companies that has really ever paid attention to me. And I've made videos for a lot of different brands. I should say Does It Doom, Steve from Does It Doom did do a couple collabs with me a couple years ago, and I really like Steve, and I really like the pedals that he makes. Obviously, I'm a doom metal fan, and I'm just a metal guy, period. So I love all the Does It Doom stuff. I bought, I think, 3 or 4 of those. Different ones, different fuzzes. He kind of goes for more of the simplistic route, like making like 1 knob pedals, which is cool. But yeah, other than you and Steve, like, I mean, Joe, I bought so much stuff from Joe, and I never really got anything other than a share from him. As much as I love his stuff, I love his pedals. I think they're sick for metal. I'm talking about Void Manufacturing / Lone Wolf Audio. Love Joe, love his pedals, but never was thrown a bone, like a discount or anything from from Joe, despite making I don't know, half dozen videos of his stuff. And where I worked my ass off on that stuff, man. And it's just nice. I don't expect anyone to do anything for me, but it is nice when people show a little bit of love to old shred riffs. Um, so yeah, the Amity demo should be out later this week. I don't honestly. I'm kind of black pilled when it comes to pedal demos and effect like gear reviews. I just don't know. Are people still watching gear reviews in 2025? I know like I'm trying to think of other channels that are similar to mine, like Taylor Danley. He reviews a lot of like inexpensive gear, and he's made Temu videos. My Temu videos are like the only ones that have popped off on my channel in the last few years. Um, I've got a Temu guitar that I overhauled. That got a lot of views, and then I've got a couple Temu pedal videos that a lot of people have watched. But I really don't. I'm not passionate about that, man. I wanna make more guitar content that deals with playing and that deals with just creating music. Maybe some technique stuff where I can help other people with their playing. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of direction that I want to go. So it's Dewey Finn. Who is Dewey Finn again? That ain't me. I feel like I should know what that is. Cats and Cod. What up? Dewey Finn. Is that why am I blanking on that? Thanks for the comment. Oh yeah. It's from School of Rock, right? That is the School of Rock main character that Jack Black plays. So in a way, I have fulfilled that role in society. I worked at the School of Rock franchise for I want to say a little over a year, maybe closer to 2 years. And then I actually worked at a real private school called the Webb School. I worked there for 4 years. It was kind of during the pandemic. And I kind of saw that like live music and like the music industry itself was just kind of going down the toilet. So I thought it would be good to get a teaching job. But I left that job in, I guess, the spring of 2023, like once the spring semester was over. So yeah, who else is out there? Talk to me. Let's hang. I guess I can play some notes. Heck yeah, man. You bought a G50? Congratulations, dude. That's an awesome amp. Yeah, they're awesome. Here's a Rev Gen 120 in snakeskin. This is Christian Colabelli's amp. He lives in an apartment in Nashville, so he just keeps this here, and we record with this amp. And like, dude, the workflow with the Rev stuff, whether it be the G50 or the 120 or even the D20, like the smaller lunchbox amps, the workflow with those amps is second to none. Like if you want to play a real tube amp in the studio, and I know most people would be like, well, why don't I just use an amp sim if I'm going to use a tube amp going into a digital setup. I mean, just the sounds that you can get from the freaking Two Notes Torpedo, and the editing that you can do, and the speaker cabs that you can get on that platform are just second to none, man. It's just the best. And that way you have a real amp in the studio to tweak with. I mean, if you want to mic your own speaker cabinet, of course you can always do that. But that Two Notes, you know, stereo out on the back is just the best thing ever. My freaking backdrop, dude, is freaking falling down, man. I'm gonna have to put that back up tomorrow. So, how do you like to run your green and purple channels? It's really it's different for whatever style I'm playing. Usually I'm using the green channel when I'm doing like jazz fusion guitar playing. So I'll boost the green channel with an overdrive, and then you just get that beautiful liquid lead kind of sound. I mean, I guess I could show you. Here, let me show you what. Here's how the green channel is set up now. It really just depends on the part that I'm playing, and like literally in the session, I'm changing everything on the amp. So I don't like run it one particular way all the time. If I was out playing live, like on a weekly basis, I probably would set it a certain way. But like I'm literally like every time I play this thing, I'm doing something different with it. And like there's almost no wrong settings on this amp. That's why I like this over Mesa Boogie, because like with Mesa Boogie stuff, it's like I don't know, man. Like there's I don't know if the controls are too extreme, but like you really have to dial a Mesa Boogie in. And I've just like the type of situations that I've been in as a guitar player, I don't have time to dial anything. You know, eventually, like let's say I make it big, you know, and I play in a huge metal band, and I have a guitar tech, or I just go on tour and I'm doing the same thing every night. Then I could spend more time, you know, tweaking the amp to the room. But the shows that I play, man, is literally 15 minutes to set your stuff up, and then you play your 30-minute set, and then you're gone. You know, it's not I don't get to like load in, have a sound check, run a couple songs, tweak the amp, and then the amp stays on stage for the afternoon, and then I play at night. I that's not the type of guitar player that I am, and I think most of you guys aren't that way either. So the Rev has saved me a lot of time and a lot of headache, and I just get an awesome metal tone just very quickly. The purple channel, I don't use a lot of gain. I always have the bright on. Noise gate for that channel. I boost it with a precision drive. Precision drive boosting this amp is just freaking, come on, dude. Is there a better metal tone than that? Presence is boosted. Depth is kind of at noon, but maybe a little bit boosted. You know, I do like if I'm going for like 8-string brutal metal, I will do some scooping, kind of like this. And then I always go for the red aggression, the all the way. As aggressive as you can make it, man. Is how I run the purple channel. So hope that helps. I was a fractal guy for a while, and now basically just use the G50 for everything. The tubes play. Yeah, dude, it's just like, what am I, a freaking audio engineer? Do I want to make some music in this decade? Or do I want to play with my Axe effects for, you know, like for 4 years until I get the sound that I want? You know, I guess you can download presets and patches, and that's great, but I just having a real amp that you can plug into the house with the XLR, right? And you can run a cab, or if they're like turn the cab off, it's too much stage volume, then you can turn the cab, like you can literally load the cab and turn it off, and then tell them to put your guitar in your ears or in the monitor, you know. So it's way better. If I somehow had like a tour coming up that was like a medium or a big tour, then I would like spend a lot of time learning the Axe effects. But I mean, to be honest, I'd love to have one because to me, the Axe effects is like the cream of the crop when it comes to digital modeling. But the workflow of just having a great, you spend a couple $1,000, you get a tube amp. There's never been more features on a tube amp than with the Rev stuff. It works like a tube amp, but it's also like a digital rig too. So it's just the best, man. I mean, I'd love to have there's other amps that I'd love. I'd love, yeah, I sold my JP2C. I'd love to get that amp back at some point in my life. I'd love to have a rectifier at some point, some type of rectifier for that sound. I'd love, honestly, my dream amp is a VHT CLX, you know, with the 6-band graphic EQ. My friend Steve has that amp, and he has it in a combo form, and it's the most crushing and brutal, just dry metal tone that you've ever heard in your life. It's just, VHT stuff is incredible. Of course, you don't have all the features that the Rev has, but it's just a killer amp. So yeah, man, I'd love to have an Axe FX3, but it's like, man, like, am I a freaking like space engineer or something? Like, are we planning a mission to Mars? Like, the thing that sucks about digital stuff is you get to the gig and you either can't hear the guitar or the sound isn't right and you don't know how to tweak it on the fly. It's just, you're setting yourself up for an impossible situation. But when you show up to a gig or a performance, like let's say you have a local metal band or a local rock band that you play in, if you have a real amp, you can tweak it on the fly and make it work. And hey, maybe your pedal board goes down. You could still plug into the front of your amp, right? If your Axe FX isn't working, or if you're having some kind of like serious tone problem, it's just a total nightmare. And if you are gonna have a digital rig and you're playing smaller clubs or medium-sized clubs, in my opinion, you still want the speaker cabinet on stage. I have seen local bands that go direct, and the only time they've sounded good is when they have a professional sound man back there. Not the local guy at the club that mixes every night. That guy doesn't care, right? He's just getting a paycheck. But if you have your own sound guy that knows how your band should sound, then you can get by with a digital setup. And in fact, one of the bands that I play in this deathcore band called Proselyte. We're playing in 2 weeks, a local show. I use an HX Stomp for that band, but we have our own sound guy and we have our own in-ear monitoring system. But you know, a tube amp, it's really hard to break it, man. And if you see an up and coming band with no cabs on stage, it just sucks. It has a tendency to just suck the life out of the room. There's no live action. There's no balls in the set. You're just getting like kick and snare and the vocalist and some bass. Like, you can't, I've just seen so many bands that do that, the digital rig, and you cannot hear their freaking guitars. So guys, I got to jump off. I need to see my wife today. I've been up here all day. She's home. I'm going to go hang out with her. I'm going to hang out with our dogs. So, Dan, it was good talking to you, man. Congrats on your G50. Or which generator did you get, man? Did you get a G50 or did you get a 120? Let me know. So, yeah. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're not subscribed. Like the videos that you watch. I mean, I'm trying to do this for real. And I know I don't put out as many videos as I need to. I know I don't do this all the time. Yeah, G50, man. $2,000, 3 channels, all the volume, all the sound you're gonna need. Bam, it's done, dude. Hopefully the price doesn't go up with the pandemic, with the freaking tariff situation, and Canada and USA are in a freaking trade war right now. So, yeah. All right. Much love to Fuzz Imp and Dan and everyone else that hung out and chilled with me tonight. Yeah. Take care, guys. Deuces.